is Detective White.
Hi, is this Internal Affairs or is this the Hermitage Precinct?
Yes, ma'am. This is the Office of Professional Accountability, which is internal affairs for the police department.
Awesome. That's what I was trying to call.
Okay.
I have a complaint against an officer. I'm not sure how to spell his name. He's from the Hermitage Precinct night shift. And it's either Lihnert or maybe Lehnert. Are you familiar with him?
Lehnert?
Yeah, or Lihnert. I'm not sure. His first initial is a T, and I have his car number that he was in.
Okay, yeah. His vehicle number, okay.
It was 9076BB, and the license is 98.
9076BB.
Right,
okay.
And the license was 9830-GH.
9830-G as in...
Girl.
Like girl.
Yeah.
H as in Henry?
Yeah.
Okay.
There were other officers there. One of them was being trained by that officer, and it was an Officer Moss. And then there was a third car that was there, well, a second car that was there. I never asked this guy his name. His car number was 8773. A as in Apple, H as in Henry.
8773 A Henry?
Yeah.
Okay.
A-H. Okay. And then there was the last officer that showed up was Officer Malone. 409192 is his ID number. And
you said
40919 192.
192. Okay.
And his car number was 9334 B as in boy, B as in boy.
933 boy.
4 boy.
Okay, 9334 boy.
Yeah.
9334 boy was his car number. And his employee number or badge number was 409192?
No, that was a different officer. The car number I just gave you, I don't know that guy's name. I don't think I ever spoke to him. But it was the the third car there. Because the officer I called about and Officer Moss were riding together since he was in training.
Gotcha.
Do you know that officer so we could call him by his correct name?
I don't. Not right offhand, I don't. So the first officer, I guess we could just say Lehnert,
okay.
Maybe?
Yeah, that'll work.
And the second officer, Officer Moss, you say they were together.
Correct. He was training Moss.
Officer Moss was training.
Right,
okay.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
And then there was a third officer who was Officer Malone, 49192, and a fourth officer unknown, but he was driving, or he or she was driving car 9334 boy.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Let me get another piece of paper here real quick. All right. Okay. And what is your name, ma'am?
I go by Reba. I'm not using my real name, but R-E-B-A.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, like Reba McEntire, the singer.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, no worries. And is this the best number to reach you at, ma'am?
Yes.
And I'll just put preferred phone number to contact you. Okay. Do you have an email address?
Yes. 515050 at activist.com.
Activist. 515050 at activist.com.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, how can I help you today?
What happened that night, it was on the 22nd and early in the morning. I know we were there at 1 a.m., so it was...
Of September?
Of September 22nd.
Okay.
And it was about 1 a.m. It started before 1 a.m., but it was still going on at 1. And what happened was Lehnert saw a car in a parking lot of an office building I was inside of. And a man named Todd was there. He worked there, had a key, went in and got his stuff. Then all of a sudden, I see police, so I begin recording. So I video recorded the entire event, so it can it can back up every single thing that I'm telling you.
Sure.
Okay, so my brother Todd made it clear that he was working, and the officer verbalized that he believed him, and there was no problem at all except getting my ID.
Gotcha.
Now, Todd...
Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. So, Todd went ahead and gave his ID, and the officer said he had no suspicions I had done anything wrong. He believed my brother was working, and he did absolutely nothing wrong, but he kept his ID, and he told him, because I was refusing to give my ID, he told Todd that he would not get his ID back until I gave him my ID. So he was told...
Okay, so somewhat holding his ID hostage because you wouldn't give him yours.
Exactly.
Okay.
And we were working. We needed to leave.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see. He gave his ID. I made some notes because I don't want to leave anything out to call you back.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was asked for my ID repeatedly. I know at least 6 times during the thing, and I refused every time. Let me see. Okay, one thing that he said to me was if I did not give him my ID, he would, quote unquote, have to take me to jail. So he was threatening jail time, even though I was already detained the entire time, so I already lost my freedom. He literally told me if I didn't ID to him, he was taking me to jail, that he had to take me to jail. And we all know that's a lie.
And you said in that moment you felt threatened, is that correct?
Well, yeah. He was threatening to take me to jail.
I'm just confirming.
I know.
I'm just taking some notes down, so I'm just making sure I want to understand you correctly.
I'm just kind of passionate about it when you're under that kind of stressful situation, you know, so.
Yeah, no, I understand. Okay, so in that moment, you felt threatened because he was telling you that if you did not give him your ID, that he would have to take you to jail.
Right, and I wasn't going to give him my ID, so I was facing going to jail. I asked for the supervisor 4 times that I know of, and I might have miscounted or not counted them all, but I asked for the supervisor over and over. And was told that if I gave him my ID, he would call supervisor. So I couldn't even get somebody above him because he was blocking me from getting a supervisor, bribing me for ID, holding my brother's hostage, and I'm hostage because I can't leave. I'm detained through the whole thing. So Lehnert kept trying to explain that he has reasonable articulable suspicion, and when he has that, it is protocol, and I think once he used the word policy, that anytime that there's a call, everybody is ID'd, period. I know I don't have to ID, so I don't know why he's trying to lie to me, but this is not a stop and ID state anyway. The reasonable articulable suspicion is just for, the reasonable articulable suspicion is just for a stop and ID states. So it doesn't even apply. It didn't even make any sense.
Yeah.
Okay, let me turn my page here. Oh, the officer asked my brother if I was a sovereign citizen. I found that to be offensive. even though being a sovereign citizen isn't necessarily a negative thing.
Yeah.
And one thing that I would really love for him to know is he was being a sovereign citizen. He thought because he was a police officer and he had a badge that the law did not apply to him and that he could get my ID any way necessary.
Yeah.
That's what a sob sit is, and he was accusing me of being a sovereign citizen.
Gotcha. Okay, so he asked your brother Todd if you were a sovereign citizen.
Right. Okay. And so we had a discussion about that. I asked him his definition. He said they think that laws don't apply to them. Well, I think that's what he's been as a sovereign citizen, thinking the law doesn't apply to him because he doesn't have because he has a badge.
I understand. Okay, I see what you're saying.
But throughout, our Fourth Amendment rights were violated. I mean, the officer made it very clear he had no suspicion of anything, and it was only my ID. If I didn't get my ID, I was going to jail. Refused to call a supervisor when I asked at least 4 times. He finally went and called a supervisor. He walked back up and said, "I have all I need." And I said, "Could you please admit that you were wrong?" And he said no, and I was not wrong.
Okay. So, at first, he refused to call a supervisor, but he did end up calling a supervisor by the time the encounter was over. Is that correct?
Right. We had to wait on that.
Gotcha.
You know, I was either
So
going to jail.
He initially refused, you're saying?
Yeah, I asked at least 4 times, and he refused to. And once it was, oh, well...
He did call a supervisor.
Yeah, he finally did, or we were at an impasse. He either had to take me to jail, or he had to get a supervisor, one or the other, because we needed to leave. We had to go to work.
Yeah. I gotcha. And then so a supervisor did respond to the scene?
No. He just got back out of the car when he hung up with the supervisor and said, "I have all I need here." So the supervisor obviously...
on the phone.
Right. So obviously the supervisor agreed with me and told him to let me go.
I gotcha.
But all of this took around 30 minutes. 30 minutes of that high stress. Being detained is the same as being arrested. I lost my freedom and my Fourth Amendment rights were violated. And I also want the body camera footage, and I'm having a hard time, one, because I don't know how to spell Lehnhart's name, but I can't get a case number.
I gotcha. Okay.
Could you try to find a case number on it and let me know?
Yeah. Let me see if I can help you with that here.
Thank you.
Log on to a program here that we use to gather that information. Hold on one second. See what I can do. And let me see first, before we do that, if I can find that officer real quick.
Okay, thank you. The first initial is T.
I'm sorry?
His first initial is T.
T. Okay.
And it's out of Hermitage Precinct.
Hermitage Precinct, first initial T. Alright. Sorry, it just takes a minute for some of these programs to load up on my computer.
Oh, take your time. It's fine.
Okay. And I should, once identifying the officer and all that kind of stuff, I should be able to watch the body-worn camera footage and things like that.
Yeah.
All the officers involved. Let's see. Let me type in. Let's see. Okay, so either L-E-H or L-I-H.
It looks
so
like it.
A Timothy Lehnert. L-E-H-N-E-R-T.
Okay, I got it right. So Timothy.
Yeah.
Timothy.
Yeah,
All right.
and the first spelling you gave me was correct.
Great.
L-E-H-N-E-R-T.
Okay.
Officer Lehnert.
Wonderful.
Now let me see if I can get you that incident number. And see if we can get that going here. Thank you for your patience. patience. Again, some of these programs just take a minute.
It's no problem at all. You take your time.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Alright, I'm getting there. Okay, here we go. Call for service. And you said it happened on the 22nd, so I'll type in September 22nd. And you said around 1 o'clock in the morning, is that correct?
We were there at 1, so it started before then, so it was 12-something.
Okay, so 12-something. And did the incident occur within Hermitage Precinct?
It did, and I think the address is 803 Royal Parkway.
Okay. Okay, perfect. And let me see if we can find that. 803. Let's see what this gives me.
I know the street's correct if the number's not, but I think the number's right too.
Okay. Royal Parkway. Let me type that in. That may
Okay.
bring up what I need. Let's give that a shot. Okay, we have, let me look for the time here, see if I can find anything at 1:55 a.m. on 511 Royal Parkway. At 1:55 a.m. on September 22nd. That's the closest thing to 1 a.m. on the 22nd. Let me just click on that, see what it gives me.
Yeah, see if it's Officer Lehnert.
Okay. This is, no, this is a different officer, and this was, okay, yeah, this wouldn't be it. This is something else. Alright, I'm going to keep searching here.
You know, there wasn't a call or anything. They just got there. I know they ran my brother's license, you know, through, so there has to be a record of that.
Yeah, and they should, even if it was a call that they, goodness, what am I trying to say? That they generated themselves, kind of like a call that they
create.
were responding to or dispatched to, but maybe they just generated themselves. There should still be a record of it here with our dispatch as a call for service. All right, hold on. Let me see. Let me check this one out. Okay, yeah. It may take me just a little bit to find this number. Let me, if it's okay with you, could I, could we hang up and I spend a second just trying to find it, and then I can give you a call right back?
Sure. Call me on this number.
Okay?
Yeah, call me on this number.
Okay, call you on this number, the 1146?
Yes.
Okay, let me write that down real quick. 615